From brutally efficient to flat-out overkill, today we're diving into Cold Steel's most fearsome weapons. These tools feel like they were built for the end of the world, and by the end, you'll understand why Cold Steel has a legendary reputation. If society collapses and zombies rise, the Cold Steel Chinese War Sword is one of the most effective weapons you can have, delivering massive reach and bone-crushing chopping power. The Chinese War Sword is a substantial two-handed chopper inspired by historical Chinese designs. It measures 37.5 inches overall with a 22.25-inch blade forged from 1060 high-carbon steel. It weighs approximately 59 ounces, making it noticeably heavier and more substantial than standard swords. It features a cord-wrapped grip for comfort, an S-shaped guard, and a steel ring pommel. What makes the Chinese War Sword so impressive isn't just its size, it's how efficiently it turns that size into cutting performance. The wide curved blade features a hand-sharpened edge and delivers strong chopping performance. It hits hard, tracks beautifully through the target, and has proven itself over years of brutal testing. Just look at what it does to a pig carcass. It tears through flesh and bone with incredible authority when handled correctly. Its forward-weighted design delivers tremendous chopping power while remaining surprisingly easy to control. Moreover, the Chinese War Sword also comes with a heavy leather scabbard that gives it a nice classic look. What do you think? Would you pick this up for your zombie apocalypse kit? Let me know in the comments. Forget the edge, this one doesn't need it. One swing from Cold Steel's Warhammer delivers devastating force. Flip it and the spike takes over. All that swing weight funneled into a single point of impact. The Cold Steel Warhammer takes one of history's most brutal battlefield tools and rebuilds it with modern manufacturing behind every inch. At 30 inches long and weighing 35.3 ounces, it offers enough reach for two-handed handling while remaining compact enough to be maneuvered with one hand when appropriate. The head is drop forged from 1055 high-carbon steel and features a differential heat treatment. Cold Steel fully hardens the striking face and rear spike to improve wear resistance, while leaving the rest of the head slightly softer to better absorb repeated impacts and reduce the chance of damage from heavy use. Supporting the head is a 30-inch straight-grain American hickory handle. A pair of steel langets reinforce the upper portion of the handle, helping protect it from wear while adding to the hammer's traditional appearance. As you can see, this thing shrugs off brutal testing. It smashes concrete, punches through metal, and cracks a pig skull in one swing. What really stands out is how well balanced it feels. Even with its solid construction, it moves smoothly in the hands instead of feeling heavy or awkward, giving you excellent control from one swing to the next. It's a great example of how a centuries-old design can still feel remarkably practical and relevant today. If you're curious to see what comes next, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and let's keep the countdown going. This might be the most deceptive self-defense weapon ever created, because nobody sees it coming. Concealed within its unassuming exterior is a steel cable whip that deploys rapidly with just a simple flick of the wrist. At 38 inches long, the stainless zinc-coated steel cable whip gives you plenty of reach to keep potential threats at a safer distance while delivering devastating strikes capable of inflicting serious damage on an attacker. If you've never been hit with a steel cable, you may be rolling your eyes right now. Yes, this is a less lethal option. What you should know is that it's exquisitely painful to take even the most half-hearted blow from one. It's entirely possible to break an attacker's bones with a more vigorous strike. Just look at what it can do. The flexible cable delivers tremendous impact energy, making it a formidable, less lethal defensive tool when used responsibly. And yet, the cane looks like nothing but a cane. It'll cause no consternation regardless of where you go. Built to withstand the rigors of daily use, it's durable and resilient, ready for years and years of daily use. Top that off with a versatile grip and knurled handle for a secure hold, and users can count on peace of mind during every outing, no matter where the day takes them. The Cold Steel Cable Whip Cane is a perfect example of a self-defense tool that relies on surprise as much as stopping power. If one knife looks like it could survive the apocalypse, it's this one. Bigger, thicker, and tougher than most fixed blades on the market, the Cold Steel Warcraft Tanto, it's built for people who need absolute strength without sacrificing cutting performance. The first thing you'll notice is the massive 12-inch blade, forged from CPM 3V steel. The awesome thing is this little snippet. It has both incredible toughness and incredible wear resistance. It can replace M4 when that steel is used in applications that cause chipping, and D2 and A2 in applications that cause them to wear out too fast. Pair that with Cold Steel's signature Tanto profile, and you end up with a reinforced tip that can take an unbelievable amount of punishment without giving up its edge. And honestly, just look at it in action. Splitting thick timber, driving through flesh and bone, piercing straight through car bonnets. Its long blade, forward weight, and razor-sharp edge deliver serious cutting power, pushing through tough material with surprisingly little effort, provided your technique is solid. This is a knife that'll have you tackling jobs you'd normally save for a hatchet. Even with all that steel out front, it doesn't feel awkward in the hand. The 5.5-inch textured G10 handle locks your grip in place, giving you plenty of control whether you're making precise cuts or swinging with full force. The full-tank construction ties everything together, creating a knife that feels rock solid from end to end. At over 17 inches long, this is undeniably a large knife, but every inch serves a purpose. Cold Steel also includes a durable, secure X-sheath, making it easy to carry and protecting the blade when it's not in use. This isn't a cheap knife, retailing around $400, but it's among the cheapest knives of its size with a 12-inch blade of 3V, and for that, it's definitely one to watch. One swing's all it takes to understand what this katana's about. Built for performance rather than strict tradition, the Cold Steel Dragonfly katana delivers serious cutting power. The 40.75-inch overall length features a commanding 29.25-inch blade of 1060 carbon steel. At 5/16 of an inch thick and nearly 40 ounces, this is a substantial weapon that brings real cutting momentum. The deeply curved blade arrives exceptionally sharp from the factory. It features an elegant iris leaf point and a hand-polished finish that turns heads. The teal-green silk cord wrap over ray skin provides excellent grip, while the Dragonfly-themed iron fittings add distinctive character without excess ornamentation. A black lacquered wooden scabbard completes the package, providing a safe storage option. In cutting tests, the Dragonfly excels. Its substantial weight drives clean, powerful slices through flesh, bones, and rolled tatami mats. However, the blade-heavy balance requires adjustment, particularly for those accustomed to lighter, faster katanas. It prioritizes power over traditional agility. The Cold Steel Dragonfly katana, it's one of the best options for enthusiasts looking for a functional katana without stepping into custom sword prices. Unique because it doesn't look like a weapon at all. The Cold Steel Irish blackthorn walking stick carries one of the most dangerous fighting traditions in history hidden inside an everyday object. At 37 inches and right around 2 pounds, it's got real mass behind every swing. Owners describe it as a formidable fighting tool if push ever comes to shove, with enough density in that knobbed head to put someone down fast. The grip tapers to a solid heel, and the weighted top end means the force multiplies the moment it connects. It functions consistently with standard baton and staff striking techniques. Train with it like you would a baton, and it becomes a serious close-quarters tool. For anyone who wants serious defensive capability without ever raising an eyebrow, the Irish Blackthorn earns its place on this list. Simple in design but devastatingly effective, the Cold Steel Boar Spear proves why this centuries-old weapon still commands respect. Straight out of the box, the spearhead arrives impressively sharp with a factory edge that's more than ready for demanding use. The 3 inches wide and 18.5 inches long head is cold-forged SK5 carbon steel, heat-treated to a spring temper, and is designed to flex under stress instead of breaking. The blade's profile delivers excellent penetration, while the reinforced construction inspires confidence when tackling tough targets. The crossguards are rolled from the same piece of SK5 medium carbon steel that the rest of the spearhead is. Their whole job is to stop whatever you just stabbed from sliding up the shaft toward your hands. They also serve the purpose of catching and deflecting other weapons when used in war. The shaft is American ash, 64 inches of it, stained and varnished. It's thicker than you'd expect. The whole spear's just under 82 inches long and weighs about 68 ounces, which sounds like a lot until you're holding it and it just feels right. So it seems pretty cool, and I like it. It is expensive, though. That's the only bad thing. But it can take a lot of abuse. This is a truly awe-inspiring piece and sends a very clear message when leveled at someone's chest that you are not to be trifled with. No powder, no primer, no noise. just your lungs, and something moving at serious speed downrange. The Cold Steel Big Bore Blowgun. It's a 625 caliber weapon that'll push a dart through half-inch plywood. Cold Steel makes these in a few configurations, 4-foot, 5-foot, and a 2-piece version that breaks down for transport. The bore size is the whole story here. Most budget blowguns run 40 caliber. Cold Steel went 625. Bigger bore means heavier darts. Heavier darts means more downrange energy and a flatter trajectory at distance. Cold Steel rates effective range at 20 yards or more. Tight groups on a 2-inch target at distance are absolutely achievable with practice. Power-wise, this is a completely different animal than the thin-wire 40 cal blowguns people grew up with. The heavy payload darts can easily penetrate a half-inch sheet of plywood, making it perfect for small game hunting such as doves, quail, squirrels, and rabbits. Another advantage is its almost silent operation. Unlike firearms or even most air rifles, the only sound you'll hear is the rush of air and the impact on the target. Of course, the big bore blowgun isn't without limitations. It requires proper technique to achieve consistent performance. Wind can also affect lightweight darts more than many new users expect, especially at longer distances. If you want maximum thump and real-world hunting capability in a blowgun, this is one of the best you can buy. Few blades blur the line between a machete and a sword quite like the Cold Steel two-handed Katana Machete, and that's the whole point of the design. It pairs a 24-inch full-tang 1055 carbon steel blade with a modified tanto-style point, finished in a black baked-on anti-rust coating with a 16.5-inch injection-molded polypropylene handle reinforced by 2 heavy-duty bolts. So if the handle ever gets damaged, it's a fixable issue rather than a deal-breaker. The long handle and sturdy crossguard let you run the blade one-handed for quick brushwork or two-handed for full power chops. The design lends itself to choking up near the guard for tighter, more controlled cuts, or sliding your grip down to the very end of the handle for maximum reach and swing speed. In hand, the length does most of the work, and despite its size, it doesn't feel like a chore to swing repeatedly. The polypropylene handle shrugs off hard knocks, and the crossguard does real work keeping your hand from creeping forward into the edge during aggressive chopping, a detail that matters more in practice than it sounds like on paper. The included Corex sheath covers the blade securely, but given the overall length here, this is a truck, camp, or garage tool rather than something you're strapping to a belt. Based on the design used by Russian Special Forces, this entrenching tool was developed for dual use as both a field implement and a last resort weapon. Its sharpened shovel edges make it a highly effective and dangerous piece of kit. Spetsnaz soldiers were even trained to use it as a throwing weapon. The Special Forces shovel comes from the factory with what Cold Steel calls a utility edge. The carbon-coated steel blade's not as sharp as I'd like, but it's a good starting point. 2 large Phillips screws anchor the hardwood handle into the socket. Beyond moving dirt, the wide blade's sharpened edges and head-heavy swing don't just make it dig fast, they also make it a serious last resort self-defense option, something Cold Steel doesn't shy away from in its own marketing. If things go sideways out in the field, this isn't something you want to be on the wrong end of. That same head-heavy balance also makes it a favorite in recreational throwing circles, where it's used as an alternative to a tomahawk. If you need a bit more handle for real entrenching or shelter construction, Cold Steel makes the Spetsnaz Special Forces Trench Shovel. This upsizes the shovel to a 30-inch overall length and a slightly larger blade. While it performs all the duties of the smaller shovel, what it gives up in portability, it gains in functionality. Cold Steel includes a Cordura sheath with an extra wide belt loop for anyone who wants to carry it rather than toss it in a truck bed. Few tomahawks look as intimidating as the Cold Steel Warhawk, but its real strength lies in its practical design and excellent all-around performance. Measuring 19 inches overall, the Warhawk features a head of drop-forged 1055 carbon steel for toughness and a textured polypropylene handle. The partial tang is inset into the handle and secured by 2 large bolts, and you can replace it easily should it break. The wide bearded axe head excels at chopping and cutting. The tang area just behind the head has a few finger grooves for choking up for whittling or more precise cuts. The double ground spike has a distinctive tanto-ish shape for maximum penetration and power. The spike is ground on top and bottom to remove material for enhanced penetration. The whole thing feels lightweight, yet substantial. It seems well balanced, and although I have some initial concerns about the plastic handle, I have to admit that the Warhawk certainly feels sturdy. The sheath is a clever double-articulated design that encases most of the head. The only negative is there's no belt attachment provision. Consequently, the Warhawk is ideal for storing in your truck for camping expeditions.